Welcome back to another episode on Coffee with Trainer. Today I'm going to be talking with Faith Monaco. She's only 21 years old. She owns the Impact Health and Fitness Center out in Leamington. She's doing great things out there, super young entrepreneur. She's also a personal trainer and also a registered health and exercise practitioner out in Leamington. So she's doing this all at the age of 21. Hey Ali, hey Nolan, everyone else for joining. So in just a minute here, she's going to be joining this live stream and we're going to be talking about how to balance health, family, and business. So Faith has some pretty good insight being so young and running a business. So she's going to jump on here in just a second and give us some advice. Hey, how are you?
Oh, good. How are you?
Excellent. Thanks for joining the live stream today. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
So,
never done this before.
This your first time?
Like doing an Instagram live. I've never done this. I'm new.
Well, welcome, and I'm glad the first time's on the Coffee with Trainer show, so I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, I heard a bit about you through Hope, and she said great things. So I wanted to know, like, when did you start your journey to open up the gym?
Well, it's kind of definitely a unique situation. So what happened? So I have went to school for 2 years. So I was at St. Clair College doing my fitness and health promotion program. And I just graduated in May of 2018, or May or April. So I ended up opening up Impact June 2018. So I was out of school for maybe like a month, a couple weeks to a month, and then I opened up right away. So I didn't have much of a break in between. And the reasoning for that was because I had worked out at Club Fit, which is another gym in Leamington, and I knew a guy that worked there, and he knew that I was a personal trainer and that I was probably gonna need to look for a job or figure it out. So he is a landlord for a really small building that he had, and he said that majority of the day it was open and there wasn't anybody really to fill the space. So he offered it to me and said, if you wanted, maybe it's a good idea, you could start like a business or something. Like the gym is open pretty much all the time, and he was doing karate there and there was martial arts going on, so it kind of worked to have a personal trainer in there as well. But it was a separate business than mine. So I ended up talking to my parents about it. I'm like, I don't know, like, is it a good idea? Because I didn't know what I wanted to do after school. I didn't really have a plan. I was thinking maybe just to drive to Windsor every day and just go to work in another gym, but I ended up just jumping right into it. So I had to come up with a plan right away. I'm like, okay, well, I got to come up with a name. I got to come up with like services and prices and figure out what I wanted to do, because I wanted to be in there by June 1st. So about a month later, June 1st of 2018 is when I actually opened up Impact, and I started with it just there. I rolled with it. So it was a very quick transition.
So you've been open for about 2 years now. How many employees?
2 years. It'll be 2 years this June.
Okay.
June 1st.
How many employees do you have?
Oh boy. So when I relocated to my new location that I'm at right now, so I ended up relocating. So this is where the story's kind of long. I'll make it short. So I ended up getting a call from the owners of Leamington Fitness. So Leamington Fitness was another gym in Leamington. So they got a call, or they called me, to come in and talk to them. So I sat in, talked to them for a bit, and they were hoping that I would be able to run the gym. They wanted me to kind of like manage it in a sense. But they also thought that it would be a cool idea if I took the classes from Impact and I did all of the group fitness classes inside of Leamington Fitness. Okay. Well, right away I shut it down. I said, you know what, I don't really want to do that, because I took a full year to build up my brand and my business, and I don't want it to be confusing and be Leamington Fitness and then Impact inside, and it was just already confusing at the building I was at. So I ended up saying that I wanted to just to own it myself. So what we did was I ended up buying all of the assets. So all of the machinery, all of the computers, everything about all the members, the contracts, whatnot, and Leamington Fitness closed. So I just relocated my business to that
Okay.
building and I just have all of their equipment. So I ended up assuming all of the employees. So
Gotcha.
all of the employees, there was about 20 employees, and I'm down right now to, oh my God, I got probably 6 right now.
Okay.
So I
Yeah,
ended up
especially with
having to
COVID.
let go. I let go of a lot of employees. One, because I didn't need to have that many employees, and it's just nice to have a fresh start, and it's so much easier to manage. And so I'm down to about 6,
Okay.
good 6
Yeah.
employees. Yeah. So yeah.
Awesome. And how many people are active members? I mean, it's different now, especially with COVID, but how many people did
Yeah.
you have?
So before Leamington Fitness, it was called World Gym. So it's been a couple different businesses and names like
Hmm.
throughout the last couple of years. So I know that when it switched to Leamington Fitness, there was about 1,800 members. So
Hmm.
now it's down to 700. So
Okay.
unfortunately, the last owner before the recent ones that sold it to me, he did have a lot going on in his life. He lived in Windsor, so he kind of let it go in a sense. So there were a lot of members that were lost. So
Yeah.
now my goal is to bring it back up to, let's say, 2,000, just because I know that it was able to hold 1,800 members.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's my goal, to just like blow it out and get that many more.
Okay. So if you don't mind, we're just going to answer a
Mhm.
couple questions that came up in the comments.
Sure.
DJ Kersey, he was on the
Hey.
last episode. Hey, Jared. So he says, if you've faced any struggles, what were they and how did you overcome them? That was actually a question I was going to ask later as well. So, um,
I faced a lot of struggles. I think one would have been the biggest misconception was that I was the new owner of Leamington Fitness.
mhm.
And I had to explain so many times, just because the name has changed and the businesses have changed. So it's probably been like 3 or 4 gyms in the last couple of years, like different businesses. So I had to explain to almost every member and make them understand that I'm not the owner of Leamington Fitness. And
Yeah.
just because things ran a certain way before with that business doesn't mean that that's how I'm running my business. So
Yeah.
there's people asking about like membership pricing and to honor things. I had people come in with Leamington Fitness coupons. I'm like, I can't accept it, because if I had a
Hmm.
Zellers coupon and I went to Walmart, they're not going to accept it. It's a totally
Yeah.
different business.
Yeah.
So it's just me trying to explain it properly to people to get them to understand the business changes. And it was a struggle, but we got through it. Everyone kind of knows now, and it's been almost a full year
How
that
did
I've
you get
been.
through it?
You know what? My parents helped a lot. So my parents are, so I'm the president, and my parents are directors. So they were nice, because I am young, to just get opinions from them and just get their
Hmm.
feedback. And um, they have their own full-time job, so I'm the one that runs it every day. They're off doing work on their own, but it would be a time where a situation comes up and I'll tell a member, okay, let me figure it out. I'll call you back or whatever. So then I call my parents. I'm like, what should I do? I don't really know. What's your opinion? I would give them my insight on what I would do, and then
Hmm.
they would help me and say, well, I don't know, maybe let's try this or whatever. And so my parents, they've helped me a lot, obviously, because I'm 21 and they're in their 40s. They have more life experience too than I do,
Hmm.
and they've obviously both worked in customer service, and just trying to reach out for help if I need it, and just not be so hard on myself. And yeah, that's pretty much how I've
What
been able to do it so far.
Yeah, no, it's good to, it's especially good to accept help from parents. I think they're huge supporters for
Yeah.
most people, and it's important to take their help and advice. We do
Hmm.
have a question here from Ali. He says, "What strategic management did you use?" So I don't know exactly what you're referring to, Ali. Are you referring to some type of like customer relationship management software? Are you referring to where'd it go? Okay, maybe he's wondering what types of strategies do you use as a manager?
That's a really good question.
Hmm.
Um, you know what? I just have to, because I've also never been a manager before.
Hmm.
Like I've never been in this position before, and to be in the position where I'm dealing with now situations that occur, like I'm the person that has to come up with a solution, or I have to come up with really good ways to make sure things run properly, and it's kind of just like trial and error.
Yeah.
So I try something out, and if it doesn't work, okay, I guess I don't do that anymore, and I move on and I try something
So a
else.
trial and
So
error process.
just trial and error pretty much. Yeah.
Hmm.
That's the best
So
way I can do it at this point.
DeLuca Films is wondering, what advice would you give to someone who is wanting to start a new business? That's a great question. It's something I was going to ask later as well. So he's on the ball.
There are all
What
your
would be some
questions.
advice?
So some advice would be to have a plan first. So I knew before I got the gym that I've always wanted to open up a gym. Like that's just always been like my long-term goal, but
Hmm.
I didn't think it was going to start right now. So obviously it was kind of quick and it was rushed. So I did have a plan though, because I kind of had a vision and an idea of what I wanted. So it just having a plan and then working with a way that you're actually going to reach that plan and reach your goal is probably the best way to start. Networking with people is huge. I would have considered myself to be extremely shy and quiet, but now because I own a business, I have to reach out to people and make connections. And because I've been able to make connections, I've had so many people that don't work at the gym just help
Yep.
me out, give me advice, and I reach out for help all the time. Like I'm not scared to reach out for help if I need it, and I try to use my resources where I can get advice from people that have been business owners for a long time. Um, but yeah, just don't, I wouldn't consider age also to be like a big setback, because again, I'm 21 and there's a lot of young people that want to start their own business
Hmm.
or do something. So I would say not to let your age like get in the way of that or be intimidated. Obviously there's some people that do um, sometimes doubt you or not want to take you totally seriously, but that's where you have to portray yourself in a really like a professional manner and make sure that you're responding to things in a professional way and being mature and whatnot. But yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's a great point. It's
Mm-hmm.
something Jaren actually touched upon too, is
Mm-hmm.
if somebody's doubting you, is to prove them wrong and invest in yourself. I see you commented that. Go for it, all in, invest in yourself. That's exactly it. But
Yeah.
if you do have any questions for Faith and I, please let us know in the comments. We'd be glad to answer
Mm-hmm.
them. Thank you, DeLuca Films. So why did you choose a career path in health and fitness? So you went to St. Clair and you studied there, but why did you
Yeah.
choose that?
So it was actually down to police foundations in London, or
Mhm.
it was down to the fitness and health promotion. So to be honest, I ended up choosing the fitness and health promotion because my parents didn't want me to move to London really and do the police foundations.
Yep.
But they also, once again, with my parents, they're helping kind of guide me how they can and in ways that they can. But they felt, and I also felt, that just with my personality and just trying to think ahead, what would have worked better with like my personality and what I'm good at. And I know that I'm good at like motivating, and I really love helping people. And I loved health and fitness. And I thought, well, what better way than to get into the health and fitness field? And
Yeah.
because it's like it's growing every day. Like there's so many different paths and ways that you can like veer off into with fitness. So if I don't want to be a personal trainer for years, like eventually I could go and do like massage therapy, or I could do like, I don't know, like naturopath medicine. Like there's so many areas that I can branch off into. Whereas if I were to, let's say, not to knock it down, but using it as like an example, if I wanted to be like a pharmacy technician, like I do that in school, but then after that, I can't really move up a ton. The next way that I would move up would to be like a pharmacist, like the doctor, and I have to go
Hmm.
to university. So I like that I'm able to like level up and like add more services and like do different things and build on my education constantly. And so I think that was probably a really big thing that made me decide to go down that way.
So it definitely seemed, would you say that your career path in health and fitness has improved your life, your outlook on life? How has this path, I know fitness is extremely important. How has it improved your life being in this industry?
It's definitely improved my health. So when I first got to school, I had no idea what a squat was. Like I didn't know any exercises. I thought that when I went to the gym and I did like a bent over row, that I was working like my biceps, when really it's your back. Like I had no knowledge whatsoever for really anything. So it's definitely helped me with my own like exercising and working out, because I know how to do things now, and it's benefited me that way. And because I'm constantly around it, I have to kind of push myself to work out. And if I'm a personal trainer, I should be fit. I should look like I take care of myself if I want to take care of other people. So that's helped me a lot. And just, it's not a negative environment to be in. Like the gym, it's constantly positive. It's always people coming in and being happy and wanting to work out. And it's definitely helped me because it's not a negative environment. So my mindset's more clear. I like that I'm motivated to work out every day, and it's been really good so far.
So Ali has another question for you. So if you had to decide between education and a job with high salary, but there's nothing to learn and nothing to grow on and improve in yourself, which one would you choose? So are you choosing a high salary or a job where you can invest in yourself and grow?
I would say invest in myself and grow, because if I had a job that paid me a ton of money, but I was miserable and I went home every night and I was just like stressed and upset and miserable, to me, the money's not worth it. I would so much rather be like feel relaxed and enjoy going to work and knowing that what I'm doing is beneficial to myself and my career. And I would so much rather not go for the money and just say like that all of my life I've enjoyed my job and that I really invested in myself and I continue to learn and build up myself. And money comes and goes, and you can live without a ton of money, and it's not like the first thing on my mind. No.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm the same way. Awesome. So this is kind of like the main topic of today's discussion. So you're in the health industry, you have family, and you also have a business to focus on. How do you balance all of those three things?
It's hard. It's definitely tricky, especially like first getting into it, because I kind of had to figure it out. I went from such a small building to maybe having like maximum 12 people that I had to worry about to now 700 people. And before I didn't have employees, and now I have 6 or 7 employees that I have to worry about. So it's me being at the gym from 5 in the morning, right? And because I open up the gym at 5, so I'm up at 4, and I go right until let's say noon, and then I got to go back again at night. So it's hard for me to like get a good sleep. It's hard for me to fit in a meal unless I prep it. So for me to get a good sleep, I got to go to bed at like 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night, which it's not realistic because I'm working till then. Or I have a life and I have a boyfriend. I want to go see him, or I want to just relax and maybe read or whatever. But they've been really great, my family. They understand that the first couple of years, it's going to be me being there constantly.
Exactly.
And until I've built up the business enough to the point where it's like, okay, I can maybe take a step back and have a manager and it can run on its own, I'm going to have to be there like as much as possible, because it's going to take me a couple of years. But for my health, it's helped me because I'm at a gym constantly. I'm working there, and I kind of feel guilty if I go home and I didn't work out and I'm around everybody working out all day. So if I'm done work, let's say at 11, quickly, I'll squeeze in a workout, or I'll go home and work out or something. And that's been very helpful. I do teach classes as well, so I'm able to get in there, teach, gets in my workout. I do take weekends off as well as much as I can, because I have employees that are able to work like students on the weekends. So I try and take like Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. So that's time for my family, or I spend the whole time at home. Sometimes I do go to the gym, but that's also a time where my family comes in and helps me work at the gym. Like we'll paint or do whatever. So I'm with them. It's not necessarily me dropping everything and just running off and just forgetting about the gym, because it's always going to be on my mind. I'm always working, even from home. Like I'll get a message or email from someone and I'm constantly working. But it's hard to balance it, but it's definitely been better because I've learned how to do it within the last year, and I know that going forward it's just going to get better. It'll be much
Absolutely. So you're almost at 2 years for your gym. From what you've seen over the year or so, what would be some successes that you can feel free to brag? What are some successes you've had?
Being totally honest, and I don't like bashing the business before, but from what I've heard from members, and again, there's 700 members, and being that I was the new owner, they're expecting me to hopefully turn it around because of how poor it was. It was a let-go gym. It was pretty much abandoned at that point. So the cleanliness is so much better. We did a lot of painting. So just overall, the interior, it's like night and day. So it's much more modernized. It's brighter. It's cleaner. That's been great. In the beginning, there was, when I got the gym, about 800 members, I would say. I lost like 200 members, if that, just because of the switchover and people not liking me because I was the new owner, which is fine. That's okay. But people also being intimidated by the fact that now it's a new business, and it scares people. So I did lose about 200, but within 6 months, I was able to gain 150 new members. So that's been great, and I haven't lost many new members or many members. The first like 2 months, I think I maybe lost like 10 members a week. Like it got to the point where I'm like, oh my God, like why are these people canceling? I was getting mad. But now it's maybe like 1 or 2 here and there, but it's just constantly been new members, which is good. So I know that it's just been word of mouth is good. People know that I've done things to management now. There wasn't management before. The employees are trained well, and there's things getting properly inputted through the computers, and the organization is good. There hasn't been a ton of like equipment, like purchases or new things. It's all pretty much the same stuff, but again, it all works. I've fixed broken machines that have been broken for a while, and just overall, I think it's only been a year, but I would say I've done a lot in the year just to kind of pretty much clean it up. But it's been hard just because it's just been tricky because I didn't like buy the building and then buy new equipment. I'm trying to fix a building that was kind of run down and abandoned, and I have to turn it around and make a better and a good impression on it. And so I think it's better. A little bit better.
Awesome. That's awesome. Especially, I think it's great when you're able to retain some members, and they're able to walk into this new gym and see it's completely transformed. It's something definitely to be proud of. Andre has another question. Andre has a question for us. So he says, do you plan to open more gyms in the future?
So that has been discussed. I don't know if it would be the same size, because the gym right now is it's around 18 to 19,000 square feet. So it's a very large facility. If I did, I don't know where. And again, I want to focus on this one. When this gym is good, and like I said, it's perfect, and it's able to run on its own and manage itself, and I can feel confident and comfortable enough to leave and go to, let's say, I don't know, like Tilbury or Chatham or something. If I decided to open up one down there, I would maybe be in Leamington for 2 days. I could be in Chatham for 2 days and live in between. But I for sure maybe want to open up another one, but I want to make sure that this one is good. It's running smooth. It's good to go. So it's going to take a couple of years for sure to do that.
That's fair. I think this kind of leads
Mhm.
into one of my last questions here is what are your goals for either
Mhm.
yourself, your business, um, moving forward?
So, goals for sure with the gym is new equipment. So, I didn't realize how much equipment costed until I got here. Like, I
Hmm.
knew that a treadmill that I bought for my house is maybe like $1,000, $900 if you bought one from Canadian Tire, but I can't buy residential equipment. I have to buy commercial equipment. So the
Yeah.
treadmills that are in the gym right now are 18 years old. So
Okay.
they're pretty old, but they
Hmm.
work. Um, it's a huge investment, and being 21, I don't have that money laying around. I have a bank account of a 21-year-old.
Yeah.
So if I was maybe 40, sure, I have like an extra 20 years ahead that I have those funds to do that. I have that credit to buy that stuff. But
Yeah.
a commercial treadmill costs anywhere between, for one treadmill, it's like $5,000 to $6,000 for one treadmill. And there's
Yeah.
15 treadmills in the gym.
Hmm.
And because I'm not a franchise, I would buy the treadmills and keep them. I'm not going to lease them because I want to own them.
Yeah, exactly.
So it would be just like one piece at a time, trying to slowly
Hmm.
invest into getting new equipment and building up my assets.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Another would be to offer more services. So right now there's the personal training, the general memberships, class membership, gym membership. There's personal training, the group fitness classes, and I just started offering athletic therapy and fascial stretch
Okay,
therapy. So there
cool.
is a guy that comes in and he does all of his sessions there.
Awesome.
He's a separate business, but he does pay me like a portion, whatever,
Yep.
from whatever he gets. Another thing would be like massage therapy. I want to do it myself and get certified, but that requires me going back to school.
Yeah.
And I don't, like right now, I can't. It's going to be, if I wanted to do a program, about a year and a half. I don't have the money right now to do it because I'm investing my money into the gym.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that's maybe like the next couple year thing. I do want to expand the gym. So I don't know if there's a way to expand out to the sides, but there is an upstairs to the gym that we've discussed where we've thought about, and again, long in the future, if the landlords even allow us to do this, would be
Yeah.
to like gut out the upstairs and then add like a second level. So that's been discussed, and just knocking down some walls and whatever, just to make it bigger and more spacious for all of the members so I can get more equipment and do things. And it's a big gym, but I find that it gets filled pretty quick. It gets kind of crowded. So that's where it would be nice to potentially expand. For myself personally, just maybe getting some more certifications. I just got certified for postural assessments.
Okay,
I have
congrats.
to do an exam this week for postural corrections. So that's another service that I could offer
Perfect.
shortly. Just building up what I can offer, because then that's more services, and yeah, pretty
Awesome.
much
I think you'll get
where
there.
I'm
I
at.
wish you all the best with that.
Thank
Um,
you.
you Faith she's super determined and energetic, and she's ready to grow her business. So I appreciate you coming on today. If anyone does have any last minute
Thank you.
questions, just pop them on below. And thank you for joining. So we're also doing a
Thank you.
giveaway. We've partnered with Impact. And if you go on my recent post and you give Impact Fitness a follow, and then you also comment below, you're entered in to win 3-month membership for free at their facility, and then also a exclusive shaker cup as well. So go hit that like button, comment, and give them a follow. Show her some support. And thank you so much for joining today, Faith. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me. Enjoyed it.
Absolutely. Yes. Stay safe, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you. You too.
Bye now.
Bye.